cry for my Delhi. This is my city. My family records many generations who have lived here. It is also where I have spent most of my professional life advocating for clean air, for clean water, and for everything else that you and I know we need for our well-being. But as a resident of the city today, I'm asking with anguish, and I know you can hear it in my voice, can we reverse the near total and visible breakdown of urban services that we are living through? But I'm also asking, what do we do so that there are no more Delhis? I am Sunita Narayan. This is my show. Thank you for watching it. And I would request you once again, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel Down to Earth. Let's get back to Delhi. We have garbage everywhere, potholes, no traffic discipline, congestion, illegal buildings, and illegal parking that adds to chaos on road. Water supply is today struggling to keep up with demand. And there is then, of course, the forsaken Yamuna River, which has today become a receptacle for sewage. And let's not forget the infamous unbreathable air of Delhi. I could go on, but all of us who are residents of Delhi know what we are living through. It is our daily life. I would even say that many of you who are watching this, who live in other big cities, will understand and share our anguish. But today I'm not discussing the city. I'm not discussing the situation in Delhi. I'm not even really discussing what we need to do in Delhi. We do this every show. I'm actually asking a very different question. How do we learn from the Delhi model so that we do not create more Delhi-like cities in India? No more Delhis has to be our slogan. In other words, as bluntly as possible, I am asking, what do we do to ensure that smaller and middle Indian cities do not become mega messes as they grow, even implode? This is important, as small must become big. But the question is, what is our vision of that livable big city? This is also important, as we know that urbanization will drive the white-collar economy of our country. Today, there is a lot of pressure on immigration in the Western world. There is a huge opportunity for us where the young and the skilled workers can come back home and can live and flourish in our country. But let's be clear, these young workers need more than money. They need a quality of life for themselves and their children. It is not only about malls and restaurants and nightlife, but about the basics. They need clean water, clean air, education and housing. This is what will attract and retain talent. So ultimately, it is about building livable cities. So if we want to change our future, we must understand what not to do. And this we have to do knowing that population data for cities is outdated. Planning still depends on the 2011 census. But go to any city and you can see implosion as cities expand into their peripheries. So I'm in Delhi, and 2 decades ago, at the turn of the millennium, Gurugram sprang up on Delhi's outskirts. This is why, in fact, Gurugram is called the Millennium City. Today, there is an urban extension that spreads laterally for miles. So, Gurugram does not end. It goes from Gurugram to yet another city and another city. The city is growing at the periphery, and then the periphery becomes the city. In this way, all the small towns are becoming big, but without any planning or services. The key is to understand that cities will grow laterally because of the price of land. Price of land outside is cheaper, it makes housing more affordable. And if we accept this, we will understand what we need to do for livable cities. First, cities must plan for this lateral growth with transport. We need to move people, not vehicles. And we need to understand moving people is linked to affordable housing and livelihoods. As cities grow, as I spoke, and land prices rise, many cannot afford to buy homes. So what happens? The poor, people who are critical to the city's service sector and provide all the basic and essential services that we need, they cannot find a house to live in. So they move to what is called an unauthorized or an illegal area or a slum. The tragedy is that these lands are, in most cases, key for the city's environment. They are green areas or catchments or water bodies. But these slums grow and people have no choice but then to endure poor living conditions and daily harassment. They cannot afford the commute from the periphery where housing may be cheaper because the commute is either not available or just out of reach. The other side is the middle class. They also move outward. They also look for housing which is cheaper on the outskirts, but they can rely on private transport to bring them from the periphery to their city. But think, this is that commute which then adds to the congestion. They have no choice. They have to bring their cars into the city because they have no other way of coming. The city loses in every way. So as cities grow, the most important component, call it the spine, would be transport planning to connect the periphery and to enable movement within the city. People should be able to walk, to cycle, to take a bus, to use the metro, and only if necessary, use a car. A modern city, a livable city, should not resemble gridlock Delhi or Bengaluru. Then, of course, there is the need for other basic services, from education to healthcare to clean water. These will drive the livability quotient. But nothing is as important as the enforcement of the master plan. What makes a city plan for its land use and its services. In Delhi, the master plan is outdated. But worse, it is practiced more in the breach. It is not enforced. The tragedy is most cities in India, and certainly the ones that are now growing up, do not even have a semblance of such a land use plan, which is available publicly so that people know what is allowed and what is not. We know, you know, transparency is the first step to deterrence. Without this, we get chaos. The chaos which is deliberately created out of this confusion is visible in Delhi. In my city, illegal encroachments take over roads, and all public investment in building new infrastructure is lost. So just consider, take a moment to think and look. You build a new road and then you allow encroachments to happen on both sides. Shops come up, houses come up, parking happens, and as a result of it, that new road now becomes another congested road. So then there is another bypass made so that you can move traffic on another road. New infrastructure is created, then that also gets encroached upon. And as a result of it, we keep getting chaos. This needs to stop. The new Gen City needs management, not populism, which is today leading to anarchy. This is really where the rubber meets the road. We need affordable models of urbanization, but this will not come out of allowing everything that is illegal, saying that it will protect livelihoods. This is a lazy way to do development. This is not the city model for growth. It is a model for chaos and a guarantee of poor services. The bottom line is the nature of urban institutions. We have completely discordant urban governance systems, where representatives are elected and then disabled. They then play with everything that is lucrative, bringing more disorder to the city. It is interesting that New Delhi, where, as you know, the power elite of India lives, has in fact decided that democracy is not the model for them. Their model of city government is an authority of officials which runs the city. The question is, what is the urban governance model we need? This has to be answered and then practiced. This is really the question that will decide even our economic future. We need urbanization that is resource efficient and inclusive, that will bring livelihood security and everything else that makes life worth living, from clean water and air to playgrounds and school. To do this, let's discard the Delhi kind city dreams of the past. Let's embrace the future of a modern city that is a livable city. And a livable city for us has to be one that is inclusive, that is green, it is livable, and so it is modern. Let's keep the discussion going. Please keep liking, please keep commenting. You give us the courage to keep pushing the envelope of ideas so that we can make the change we need in our world.